So TIT Jam is a week-long breast cancer fundraising effort that takes place the last week of every July for the last 6 years. TIT Jam can be summed up in 3 words. It's camp, community, and cleanse. We're camping. It's completely community-driven, and the cleansing aspect is to create a space where it's safe to be vulnerable and open up about our biggest fears, struggles we're having in life, and how parkour is the tool that we use to strengthen ourselves.
JUMPfest is a multi-day event that combines TED Talk style lectures with parkour workshops and training.
When we can find a way to operate from the why, then the how and the what sort of just fall into place.
Come with us behind the scenes as we show you what it takes to put together TIT Jam 2016.
Here are some reasons to not go for it. So I've had a couple people come up to me and say like, you know, when do you know you're ready to try something? So I don't go for it if it's an unfamiliar surface. If I've never landed a trick on that surface before, like, I don't go for it unless like I'm 100% confident that I can land it. Especially when you start bringing tricks to harder surfaces. It typically goes for me, it's like mats, sand, gravel, wood chips, grass, asphalt, concrete, you know, just in terms of like softest to hardest surfaces. And if it's an unfamiliar surface like linoleum or something, like don't freaking do it, like it's dumb. I don't have my prerequisites on lock. So don't go for a front 900 if you don't have front 540s, right? Don't do a double Webster if you can't Webster on flat. You know, like this seems like common sense, but like most of the injuries that I see are literally because of these 2 reasons right here. Unfamiliar surfaces and not having prerequisites on lock. I can't visualize the trick. If you can't see yourself doing it in first and third person, if you can't visualize it, there is a lack of understanding somewhere in that trick. And don't go for it if you can't visualize it. Like, explore it in your mind so that when you go for it, it's as if you've already done it. So if you can't visualize it, that means your brain has not made the connections that are needed to do that trick. And if you can't visualize it, there are some other techniques that you can use, such as like watching someone else do it, and some more advanced techniques I'll get into to help you visualize later. I get a gut feeling about not doing it. Your gut knows a lot more than you do when it comes to tricks. Most of the time that I've injured myself was always, like before I did the trick, I had a gut feeling about not doing it. Like, oh, I think you could, you know, I'm like, shut up. Doesn't matter, I got this. You know, that's ego getting in the way. Trust your gut, you know, like it's just not worth it. There's gonna be 100 other times to try the trick than the one you're experiencing right now. A gut feeling is typically experiencing a pressure that you are self-imposing on yourself of, I should be able to do this trick here, or I want to be able to do this trick here, but your body is literally telling you like, bruh, you're not ready. Like, don't do it, you know? I feel pressured or I don't want to. If you're in a situation where there's a lot of people training a certain trick, it's super easy to get pressured into doing that trick or to doing that line of movement. And I'm just gonna say, just don't go with that. If you don't want to do it and you feel pressured, it's not a good time to do it. You know, like have the respect in yourself of like, I'm not going to injure myself here. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Go for it. So this is when you should go for it. I can visualize the trick. I have the prerequisites locked down. I've landed it on softer surfaces. I can feel the trick while I'm visualizing it, and I want to do it. If you want to do it, do it. You don't need to ask your friends like, yo, should I do this trick? If you want to do it, like, do the trick, you know, like, and be prepared. Analyze the risk versus the reward. Recognize the worst that can happen. Like, literally, samurais would meditate on death every single day. And the reason why is because then when they're out in the battlefield, they're like, I already know the worst thing that can happen, and like I've accepted it, so they can just like go all out and like dual wield swords and shit. It's cool. So like when you when you have accepted the worst thing that can happen, there's nothing to be afraid of. If you're like, I might land on my side here, you know, like that's literally the worst thing that can happen on this mat. What's there to be afraid of? There's nothing to be afraid of if you've accepted it. If you haven't accepted the worst that can happen and you're just hoping that you land it and you're hoping for the best and not expecting the worst, then you're gonna be afraid. You're gonna be afraid because you know that there is a chance that you won't land it. There's a chance that that bad thing will happen, all right? There's always a chance. And if you haven't accepted that, you're just creating inner turmoil, all right? So accept it. You're gonna fall. When you're trying new tricks, you are going to fall. I have fallen 1,000,000 times for every one success I've had, all right? You're gonna fall. Accept it, and it's okay. You'll get up, you'll be stronger for it.
So it's gonna go Cottonwood, it's gonna eat lunch, do what you gotta do, we're just gonna be at Cottonwood all day.
Cottonwood's such a fun spot. Like it's such a great opportunity for people to kind of actually train with one another. Whereas when we're downtown or when we're in Manitou, people kind of tend to spread out. So Cottonwood really sort of unifies everybody. And it was our first birthday, which was fun. I mean, we do everything we can to make a big deal out of birthdays, even if it's just like crazy, cheap, weird colored cake. So we got to pull everybody together, sing to Cody. That was awesome.
We all came here to Cottonwood Park. Everybody, I believe, is ready to throw down.
You can sell yourself without a soul. It's time to let it go. No, you can't sell yourself, you'll be out alone. I'm just letting you know that where I stand, I can see right through you. You could be anyone. Why don't you try to be yourself? You could be hero.
Okay. And then Flipshack, so it's a really, it's a tiny gym. The ceilings are only like 12 feet high, but there's a lot of trickers there, a lot of also people that are very knowledgeable when it comes to the twisting thing, and we just want to create situations today where you can apply what Chris is talking about today.